Wrestling Review Society's Facebook page, YouTube page, and twitch.tv/HailKevin. Guys, we're here to give our predictions on what is shaping up to be a pretty amazing show tonight, AEW Revolution. Obviously, we have it headlined by the barbed wire death match between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. But before we get into all of that, you guys know I never do this alone. I'm going to go ahead and plug our sponsors. I'm going to bring my guests on. We have an all owners panel today. It is going to be absolutely awesome. We have 2 people returning and 1 person making their Wrestling Review Society debut. So just before we get to that, guys, huge shout out to our amazing sponsors, first of which being A-Rock Designs. I know this says A-Rock Designs on Facebook, but she has recently secured her own domain name. So you can go to arockdesigns.com and place all of your orders for your custom tumblers like this MRE tumbler I have right here. Whether it be wrestling related, non-wrestling related, it does not matter. Go to A-Rock and place your orders today. Also, guys, storefrontier.com/Wrestling Review Society for all of our amazing merch. I'm not wearing my own merch right now, which I should be, but we're in the middle of moving. All my clothes are dirty. Sue me. But storefrontier.com/Wrestling Review Society to get all of our amazing merch. Lastly, guys, the coldestwater.com. Go to the coldestwater.com and check out all of their amazing products like their water bottles, t-shirts, ice packs, coffee line, anything you want. And make sure you use promo code WRESTLING to save 10% at checkout. With that being said, guys, we're going to go and get right on into our guest today, and then we will pull up some of your guys' comments because you guys are already going nuts in the comment section. Like I said, guys, we have an all-owners cast today. So, introducing first, making his return to the War Room, he is the owner of the WFE, the Fig Fed. He is TikTok's favorite wrestler and the most charismatic wrestler on the independent scene today. He's become a really good friend of mine. I love sitting down and talking to him, and I love pissing him. None other than Willie Finesse. Willie, what's up, bud?
Oh, I dropped that. Look, did that piss you off right there? I just dropped the camera. Did that piss you off? My diamonds is realer than 1 million on my neck on TikTok, y'all. Just know that.
Production value, man. You got to hold on to that camera.
That's right.
Guys, next, once again, making his return to the War Room, he is the owner of Real Pro Wrestling. He is sponsoring Jeff Hardy's concert. He has his very own WrestleMania show, which I will be on commentary April 9th in Tampa, Florida. You guys are not going to want to miss it. If you're in the area, make sure you stop by and say hey to us. I will be streaming it live on my Twitch stream. So if you can't make it to Tampa, tune in to twitch.tv/HeelKevin. But ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Real Pro Wrestling and the creator of the Madhouse, my good friend, Zachy Taylor. Zach, what's up, man?
What's up, Kev?
You look really tired.
So tired. But I am rocking a Britney Spears t-shirt today, and it's soft and it makes me feel nice.
I like how right before we went live, we told Willie how low his volume was, and you told him to get headphones, and now your volume's really low.
See what had happened was, shut up.
So, guys, we have one more joining us, making his Wrestling Review Society debut. He is the owner of FPW, Forever Promo Wrestling, on Facebook. It is a promo group where you get to compete for real championships. Yes, guys, I said it, real championships. You go there, you cut a promo, you do a better job than your opponent, you walk away with one of their very own titles. With that being said, the owner himself, Shane. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Shane, how do you pronounce your last name?
Poyer.
That's what I thought.
That's how I say it.
Do you normally get people messing up your last name?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I don't feel so bad. Let me go and get this logo off, even though it is an improvement for him. We're going to get to some of these comments, and we're just going to jump right into it. We already have 17 comments waiting. Jesus. Guys, right here, already starting. Finesse versus Monstar. That is absolutely correct.
It's going to happen on Fight TV.
Tucker, you got to go inside.
Look at the profile picture of Pops. That's hilarious.
Pops is great, guys. Give me just 1 second.
Uh-oh. You see what this is right here? This is interdomestic child abuse. You see? I'm kidding. He just yeeted that child out the studio. Y'all saw that, right? He grabbed him and threw him.
Listen, y'all. My blackness will not allow me to make no type of statements like that because I live in the hood and I'm not allowed to snitch. I see nothing.
Yo, listen, I have
just
more
getting his-
color representation than
No, he was
most,
getting
and
his
I'm gonna
diaper
tell
changed
you.
and he walked out here butt ass naked. And if I have a naked baby on my Twitch stream, I'm getting shut down.
Oh yeah, you're out of here.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
you're
so
done at that point.
I heard here.
I'm just saying, we watch Calm Kevin turn into a full like blown silverback gorilla and just go, no, child, yeet.
Thank you
Yo,
so
that
much
was
for
We're
brief.
crying already. Like, we
guys.
haven't
If
even
you're watching
started.
on any other platform and you have the ability to watch on Twitch, I encourage you to switch to Twitch. It'd really help us out. But either way, whatever platform you're watching on, thank you guys so much. We're going to get right into AEW Revolution. I, for one, am really looking forward to this card. There are quite a few gimmick matches. You know, we have the Exploding Barbed Wire Death match. We have the ladder match. We have
Yeah, we
Casino
do.
Tag Battle Royal. I mean, there are a ton of gimmick matches here. But I really like the idea of Kenny the two to bring back the barbed wire death match, the exploding barbed wire death match. I don't think it fits with anybody. Maybe Callahan and Mox, but Mox definitely has to be in there somewhere. Personally, I'm really looking forward to this pay-per-view. I have high expectations for the pay-per-view. What do you guys think so far, Willie?
Yeah, it's like for me, first of all, and I want to say that I got to give credit where credit is due. I was shit on.
Willie, one sec, because this comment really, David always busts my balls every chance he gets, saying, when are we going to go pro? Well, if you will watch the show last time me and Zach were live, we already announced that we got picked up by Fight TV. So go to yourself, David.
How you doing?
Kidding, love you, man. But we are on Fight TV now. So, yeah, suck it. Willie, continue.
But yeah, sometimes I'll bust your balls and I'll shit on AEW. Sometimes I will, right? But I do want to go ahead and say this, and I'll say this publicly. I've been waiting to say this. That Shaq and Cody, even though it wasn't maybe in some people's mind a great actual wrestling match, I was 100% entertained by that Shaq and Cody in the red velvet and Jade Cargill. I just want to go ahead and get that out the way. I was 100% entertained by that.
I think of all the people who messed up in that match, Jade was the worst.
Yeah, but that's only because you can tell that she's green. You can tell. You can look and tell. You can tell Red Velvet was calling and telling her, "Hey, here, I'm tapping you. Reverse this move." You could see that, but I was still 100%. I think they did the job they wanted to do. But when it comes to this pay-per-view, I ain't gonna lie to you. Usually, sometimes when it came to the first few AEW pay-per-views, I was hyped when they came out. Then it started even when it comes on TV, that NXT, Raw, SmackDown, I'll watch it, but it's kind of I'll watch what I want to watch, and then the rest is just on because I need something on while I'm recording videos or something. You know what I mean? Honestly, but I'm really looking forward to this today. I want to see the exploding barbed wire. I wasn't a fan of it at first, just because of how it just came about. But now I just want to see it because it's just hyped so much. I'm like, man, let's really see what's going to happen. We know Mox is probably going to lose, and he did a promo and basically said he was going to lose. He basically gave you the feeling, oh, he's going to lose. But I really want to see that. And there's a couple things I want to see. I want to see if the women's champion retained too. Don't she got a match tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sheeta. Yeah, I want to see if she retains tonight too.
All titles are on, aren't they? Except for the TNT.
I also want to see what happens with the tag team title matches tonight too. So I definitely want to see if just where that goes, what happens.
Yeah, we're going to get into all the predictions in just a little bit. But just before we do, Zach and Shane, your thoughts on the overall card itself? Are you excited for it? What are you guys thinking going into it? Let's start with Zach and then go to Shane.
Oh, okay. Dude, I'm just excited, man. It's wrestling. You know what I mean? It's wrestling. It's a small break from your normal everyday life. Dude, I've been so stressed out with trying to just do everything as of late with Mania Fight, the LLC stuff. I'm trying to buy a damn house. I haven't had soda in 3 days. I'm on a diet again. I'm at the gym. I'm just having a lot of issues. So man, the fact that I get to just sit there and just enjoy wrestling, I'm happy about. I don't give a fuck if they walk out there and fight a broom for 20 minutes. I'm just excited wrestling's on, man.
I've answered this question so many times. Almost every time I go live, I answer this question. but I'll definitely answer it a little bit later. But before I do, I really want to get Shane's thoughts on the pay-per-view. It's his first time joining us on live stream. Super happy to have him. Very privileged to have him. Shane, what are your thoughts going into the pay-per-view?
I'm really excited. I had never really heard of a barbed wire death match, and then like right after they said it, I looked it up, and I was like, "This is gonna be awesome." I think that having Moxley, especially Moxley, in the barbed wire death match, it's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome.
You couldn't have put anybody else in there, honestly. Like when it comes down to it, like Darby would have did it. You would have had Joey Janela, but like to have the star power, you gotta have Moxley. And I was just excited when Kenny said deathmatch on live TV. Like, bro, like my little deathmatch heart just kind of grew 4 sizes that day. I was excited.
Yeah, I think it took a lot of us by surprise because, I mean, we get like monsters ball matches, we get hardcores, the street fights, and all that other stuff, and they tend to get really. They tend to toe the line sometimes, but nobody ever really says deathmatch, and they're finally calling it for what it is. And it definitely took me by surprise. So I'm excited to see just how far they're going to push that envelope. Obviously, we're going to have color tonight. We're going to get some crazy, ridiculous spots. I hope that we don't go back to the fast time. But overall, I have very high expectations for this match and what they're going to do and what they're going to pull out. But let's go and get right on into the card.
What? We're getting color and cursing tonight? That's weird.
It's going to be real color. Too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and get right into the pay-per-view card. Now, we have the buy-in, their version of the pre-show, and what we're going to get on the buy-in is Rio, the former AEW Women's Champion, teaming with Thunder Rosa, in my opinion, one of the greatest female talents on the planet right now. Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Rebel. Britt Baker's kind of lost a lot of her appeal to me. I used to like watching her. I used to get excited about her work. I used to get excited when I seen she was on the card, and now it's gotten really bland ever since the tooth and nail match, I think it was. Kind of lost all interest in Britt Baker. But I'm really high on Thunder Rosa. I want Thunder Rosa to be the next AEW Women's Champion. I think Thunder is great. So my pick for this one is going to be Rio and Thunder Rosa going over Britt Baker and Rebel. Shane, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with Rio and Thunder Rosa. I think Thunder Rosa is phenomenal.
Willie?
Britt Baker will be. My prediction is Britt Baker will be the very first person in AEW to complain about not liking to be in AEW because she loses so much. But she it is what it is. I just want to get that out the way. But they're definitely going to lose. Like I don't see Riho or I definitely don't see Thunder Rosa losing to nobody right now. I don't see her taking a pin to nobody. Like. If AEW really wants to build a strong women's division, that's the person you should go after, Thunder Rosa. If you can't make Serena Deeb your champion, but that's what I'm rolling with, easy.
I would even take Thunder Rosa over Serena Deeb. Like Serena Deeb's great chain wrestler, fantastic mat wrestler, but you have a level of legitimacy with Thunder Rosa because she's a mixed martial arts fighter as well. Zach, what are your thoughts for this match?
Thunder, Thunder and Britt's gonna lose. Like we know how it is, unless like they do some really dirty, underhanded, like conniving shit. They're not going over. And like Willie was saying, bro, like you can't put Thunder under because honestly, like you're gonna end up damaging what she's been doing. You're gonna take credibility away from her. And I'm sorry, but like Britt Baker, out of all people, taking a W over her, it's not a smart move, in my own personal opinion. That seems to be the opinion of everybody else here. But
the only way I see them going over is if Britt beats Rio, because I can't see Rebel pinning either one of them. I can't see Thunder getting pinned by either one of them. I don't see Rio pinning Britt, but. The only way I can possibly see this happening, if Britt does pull out the win, Britt has to go over on Rio. They cannot have Thunder go under to anyone. Rebel's not going to go over anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, and that's what I mean. Like, it would have to be some dirty, underhanded, like, take Rosa out of it almost completely at the very end of it, where, like, she can't make the save, she can't reach the ring, like, something along the lines of just dirty, underhanded, and then, boom, they go over. But for the most part, I see the faces going over in this one, man.
Yeah, just I don't think that justify Thunder Rosa going over. And after this, I hope this catapults Thunder. I know they had like the Eliminator tournament, which I was really hoping Thunder Rosa was going to win. But I don't see her. I don't see her going under to. I don't see Thunder Rosa losing to anybody. By the way, we have some gifted subs from OMG. It's Crispy. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. He gifts a sub to Lucha Jesus and the Demented. So Crispy, thank you so much for gifting those subs, man. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for supporting. I really do appreciate it. Crispy, you are the true MVP of the chat. Thank you so much. So I kind of wanted to save this because I really wanted it to build. So, but let's just go and get right into this. We were promised a massive signing by Paul White. By the way, best shirt of his entire fucking career. That shirt he had on, No More BS. I have never once looked at myself and said, I got to have that Big Show shirt. That one right there, fucking flawless, guys. I need that damn Big Show shirt. But he promises that we're going to have a Hall of Fame worthy. Now, I'm really harping on that. The fact that he said Hall of Fame worthy and not Hall of Famer. So it leads me to believe it's somebody not in the Hall of Fame yet. So I'm going to save myself for last because I really want to see if you guys are thinking what I'm thinking. Willie, who do you think we're going to get for a massive signing tonight?
I don't know. It's been this one's a hard one. I ain't gonna lie to you because this is like it's one of them that you be like, yeah, it's probably this person. But what if it's this person? Like I truly don't believe it's like a lot of people think it's going to be Christian. Christian could be cool, but I don't think Christian. If Christian showed up, to me, I'm not going to get it. I would be like, oh, Christian's in AEW, okay, because I would like to see like Christian versus Cody. I think that could be fire in AEW. But I'm not gonna be like, oh snap, Christian's in AEW. I'm not gonna get like oh. Now if it's Okada, that could be nice. That could be nice. Really think
Okada under contract though?
No, I'm just saying you never know. But I don't know. But if I could pick somebody that I would think that's who I would say is Okada because I don't really see nobody else making me feel. Kurt Angle, no. Kurt Angle wouldn't make me like. I don't think Kurt Angle would make too many. If we just being 100% honest, I don't think Kurt Angle's going to give nobody a feeling. Oh snap! Kurt Angle's in AEW. Oh
well, isn't Kurt Angle a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, and he's a Hall of Famer. So
yeah, so is Bubba Ray Dudley. So like that, those two are instantly out of the equation.
Well, we don't know that.
But what about assuming? Is that Switchblade? Is Switchblade still under contract?
Jay White?
Yeah, because he would be. Yeah. I'd go crazy if he pull up.
I'd pop for that.
I'd go crazy if he pull up. But I don't know, honestly. I can't put a finger on it.
Zach, what you got?
I've looked over social media. I've seen the dirt stuff. You know what I mean? And then, I've had a couple friends go, oh, it's Kurt, because he uploaded this video of him putting his medals back on. And, like, that's cool. But specifically, like, it's in the wording. It's Hall of Fame worthy, not Hall of Famer.
And that's what I'm really harping on.
So, like, it's not going to be Bubba Ray Dudley. It's not going to be Kurt Angle. You see what I'm saying? Like, they've went that route. It's going to be either somebody coming out of New Japan that you wouldn't expect, or and like my original thought was like, I keep asking like, where the hell is Marty Scurll? Like I keep asking myself that because like Marty Scurll was the elite, you know what I mean? But to say that like, oh, he's Hall of Fame worthy. You know what I mean? Like that, it's a hard toss-up. However, I'm going to lose my shit if those lights go dark and all you hear is whoop, whoop. Bro, like
the umbrella.
Bro, I lose it. Like I got goosebumps talking about it. But it's a hard fit, man, because like if you're looking at Hall of Fame worthy, like Jeff is re-signed. It's not going to be CM Punk. If I have to hear CM Punk in AEW one more time, I might throw myself in front of traffic. Like I'm done. I'm over it. And I love Punk, but it's just not going to happen. Jay Lethal, yeah, but like he's Impact, yes, or TNA, yes. The same thing with like ROH.
My boy Stephen Hammer is watching. Stephen Hammer, thank you, Zach. I didn't mean to cut you off. For those of you who don't know, in the early days of the War Room, Stephen Hammer made my intro video. He made my graphic. He has supported this channel every single chance he has gotten. I've got some really cool goodies I'm going to be sending over to Stephen Hammer. We just got to talk earlier. We don't talk that much, but when we do, we always pick up right where we left off. Stephen, thanks so much for tuning in. We're just giving our predictions on who we think the massive signing is going to be. So thanks for hanging out. Stick around, give your comments. Your insight's always welcome and very, very appreciated. So Stephen, welcome to the chat.
Yeah, man. I don't know. And like I hope they don't hype it up for just like that I'm really excited moment, and then you're just hearing and you're like, oh really? That's it? Like, you know what I mean? I hope it's not lackluster. Like I hope it wasn't Kevin on prom night where he was like, I'm finally gonna, oh man, this is it. You know what I mean? Like,
I've got a really good idea of who it might be, but I'm gonna let Shane go first. I'm gonna tell you guys not only my pick, but why I picked this person. I'm gonna look at me like I'm stupid. Edge. But Shane, who you got for the surprise signing?
Well, I started thinking about like Hall of Fame worthy, so I think it's RVD. I mean, in my opinion, he is the biggest Hall of Fame worthy name out there that I could think of.
But who's gonna pop?
I think it's RVD. I don't know. I think a lot of people would if it was just RVD coming out without Katie Forbes, just RVD. I think people would be excited for it.
All right, no, you're all fucking wrong. I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. I gotta stand up for this one because I can do this now in my brand new studio. Let me angle this camera up just a little bit.
Talk to us.
Guys, check this shit out, okay? We have had for weeks now, for months, almost a full calendar year, everybody has been talking about, oh, the new horseman, the new horseman, the new horseman. This last week, we had FTR with Tully Blanchard, JJ Dillon, coming out with the horseman gold, with the horseman gold around their waist. Tully had you had Arn come out at the end, stick up the four fingers, and at the end of the match, who do we get? We got Shawn Spears. We got Shawn Spears with FTR. Who now you have FTR as the Brainbusters. You have Shawn Spears as Ole Anderson. Who is the front man? That's what they're really missing with this. Who is going to be their front man? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, their massive signing. We have seen every single NWA champion walk through the door except the world champion. Who is going to be a better person to plug into the front man for the new horseman, bringing the NWA World Championship with him? Ladies and gentlemen, newly signed under contract with AEW, leader of the modern day horsemen, Nick fucking Aldis is walking into Revolution tonight. I'm calling it right now. God,
that would be fire. That would be fire, though. That would be fire. Even though I'm not a big fan of Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears looks like he's out of place in the whole thing, but
he's kind of a dick. Like, not to be rude, but like he is. Like, Shawn is very like Spears is kind of a douchebag, man.
I'm telling you guys right now, it's Nick Aldis. I didn't even think about it. I was with a buddy of mine last night, and we were kind of having this conversation. I kind of messed up my camera. But we were having this conversation last night, and after talking to him, Nick makes sense. Nick Aldis makes sense. He is the only NWA champion that we have not seen on AEW yet. So for it to be Nick, with them forming the Horsemen, bringing the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA championship, tell me what else makes better sense. He's not a Hall of Famer yet, so he is a Hall of Fame worthy talent. He's had amazing matches with Cody. The NWA title is the only championship to represent every major brand in wrestling at one point in time, aside from AEW, because it's so new. Now it comes in, it's going to be featured on AEW. It rounds out history. Guys, I'm telling you, it's Nick Aldis.
And they do have that solid working relationship.
But you think he should defend the NWA title on AEW?
Absolutely. What's going to do better?
But then everybody, when WWE be having a million titles, everybody be like, nah, you shouldn't. They got just have one title, unify them all. Like, so that would, to me, that wouldn't.
Okay, but let's look at the guys. Let's look at the guys who are under contract with AEW right now. We're not saying he has to be there every week. We're not saying he has to defend it every pay-per-view. But we've had the women's championship defended.
I mean, I get what you're saying, though.
Tell me it wouldn't be great.
I mean, I would love for the Aldis to be in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I would be like super. I would be excited that he's there because I like him. I like his work. I think he's like, when I think of wrestling, like that's a real, like what a professional wrestler is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nick Aldis is the definition of professional wrestling to me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like super pop, but I would be happy to be there because I love him.
Raul, thank you so much, man. I'm thinking I'm going all in on this one. I'm sinking my teeth into this. I've been waiting for Nick Aldis to show up. We've had all the NWA talent, all the NWA champions. We've had Billy Corgan come on screen. We've had everybody involved with the NWA except two people. We haven't had Tim Storm yet, and we haven't had Nick Aldis. Also, we haven't. I said all champions, but we haven't got the NWA national champion Trevor Murdoch to come over yet. But I'm telling you guys, I'm going all in with Nick Aldis.
Sami Callihan.
Waste of space.
Watch it be, please.
That one got me excited. But coming up next, guys, the match we had, another gimmick match we have. So we've had a men's casino battle royal. We've had a women's casino battle royal. We have yet to have a tag team battle royal. That's what the winning team will go over and face whoever the champions may be, whether it be the Young Bucks or MJF and Jericho. After this, they will get a number one title or number one contenders. They'll become the number one contenders and get a AEW tag team match later on down the line. With Jericho and MJF already in the title picture, I'm going to pick Rey Fenix and Pac. I think they're a great team. I think they're a fantastic team. I'm going to go Rey Fenix and Pac on this one. Anybody else?
No. Like I had to think about it. Like Pac just because like if you think about it, like Lucha Brothers really haven't gotten like a solid rub in AEW. You know what I mean? Like they haven't really done too much, and they haven't. You know, it's the same thing with Pac. Like Pac was a monster, fucking monster, doing stuff outside, and then like when he finally came back as Pac, dude, like he was built as this monster. Like the thing about like the battles like him and Kenny Omega went through, and just everything else, dude. So like. I could see them taking it. And besides, did you hear that pop on Wednesday? Like everybody else had run out there and everybody else was like doing their thing. And then like what happened? Death Triangle's music hit. And as soon as it hit, that like the 1,000 that were in attendance were like, oh shit, it's that. You see what I'm saying? Like I could see it being them.
I think they're the hottest tag team in right now when you remove the people who are already in the title picture, the Young Bucks and MJF and Jericho. I just think they're the hottest team available right now. And when you look at the styles of Pac and Phoenix, you know, Phoenix is that high flyer, Pac is that guy. He can do this new change of attitude he's had. He really wants to get you on the ground and just beat the dog shit out of you. So I think they're the most appealing tag team for me. And no matter who walks out as the champion, I think they give both people a good match. Let's go to Shane and then Willie after him. Willie, this is your cue to get your headphones put in. Shane, who do you got going over in the tag team?
I have Pac and Rey Fenix. I think I think it's just their time. I think they're absolutely killing it right now.
I was a little disappointed that it wasn't Pentagon and Phoenix, but Pentagon's in the ladder match, which we'll get to right after this. But Willie, who do you got going over in the tag team battle royal? Is it a sweep across the board?
Yes, but I had a shock factor just in case they didn't win. If it wasn't Rey Fenix and Pac, I had that team, and I know it sounds crazy, but for shock factor, I got Bear Country.
Bear Country.
Yes. Have you not seen them?
It's just.
No, I'm just saying. If a team doesn't, if it's not that team, that's the team that's going to win. Watch.
We got one of our viewers commenting. He says, "I'm calling it now. Dark horse pick will be the Varsity Blondes."
Griff Garrison.
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison? So it seems that we're all in agreement. We have my pick is Top Flight. Top Flight's got a lot of steam, but isn't. No, that's the Acclaimed. Never mind. Top Flight's not a bad pick. I hope it's not somebody like the Hybrid 2. I hope it's not a wasted pick. I really want it to be Ray Phoenix and Pac. I think they'll give, no matter who walks out the champions tonight, I think they'll give both those teams one hell of a match. But moving along, we have Miro and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Yeah, exactly. What you got for this match? Miro, Kip Sabian, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor.
Like, I hate to say it, but like, it's a throwaway match. Like, they could have did something so much better on that card. Like, they really could have. I like Taylor. I like Chuck Taylor. I like Orange Cassidy. You know what I mean? Is he goofy? 110%. You know what I mean? But you got 3 individuals walking around. You have 2 individuals. One who is named Jungle Boy. The other one is Marco Stunt, who is the equivalent of my 2-year-old, my 12-year-old. I'm sorry. And
Marco Stunted growth.
You know, they're running around with a man dressed as a dinosaur. All right, like, you can get a little ridiculous. All right, but Orange Cassidy is just like the epitome of like he's the ladder, bro. Like that's just like what it is. Like, if he's the final boss of like what ridiculous is in wrestling. Solid talent, like when he actually turns it on. But I don't know. Yeah. It could, like I said, that's easily like a Dynamite match, not a pay-per-view match. But if
I would definitely agree. I think it's a wasted spot on pay-per-view. I think it's a wasted spot on a pay-per-view. I think anything to do with Orange Cassidy is a wasted spot on a pay-per-view. I think anything to do with Orange Cassidy is a wasted spot on Dynamite. It's almost a wasted spot on Dark. Just saying.
You have an Orange Cassidy action figure. Shut up.
We have yet to see Miro look like legit dominant in a good match. Like, all of his matches have been kind of sketchy. I hope this is the one where he really makes people believe that he is this dominant force in AEW. So I'm going Kip Sabian and Miro, just because I refuse to ever say he's going to win again. I had to do it once. I was right. Didn't like it. Wasn't happy about it. But I'm going Kip Sabian and Miro, even though I think they're going to lose. Willie, who you got for this one?
Oh.
Done?
Thumbs down.
I mean, he's right. Like, who doesn't like dinosaurs? Like,
no, I'm telling you, man, Stephen Hammer is great. I love this guy to death. But I'm super big on Jurassic Express. I just don't give them the win in the Casino Battle Royal because they just took that loss to FTR. Well, they took a pin to Tully Blanchard. Shane, what do you got for Miro, Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor?
Well, Kevin, as you know, for the sake of my marriage and not having my wife become an absolute rage monster, I'm going Miro, Kip Sabian, even though I do not think they're going to win. But for the sake of my marriage, I am picking Miro and Kip Sabian.
Because your wife is smart and she'll divorce you if you say that other one. Why you stop that right now? Why you stop that right now?
Honestly, I could see it going either way, and the only way to do it right with Miro is if they allow him to be a monster. And if you saw the promo he cut, like, he started talking in Russian again, and he was like, "No more games. You want me to be serious? Like, I got you." You know what I mean? So could you see a more serious Miro? Could we get that from him? Hopefully. But
I hope so. I feel like that's what we're missing with him.
And if not, if you don't get serious Miro, they're gonna go under. Simple as that. If you get serious Miro where he actually is a beast, they're gonna go over. That's the way. That's where the line is.
No, I get that. So coming up next, we have the ladder match where the winner will go on to get a chance at the TNT Championship. Now, my first problem with this is you have a ladder match, and it's for the TNT champion, a number one contendership at the TNT Championship. If you want to make it for the TNT Championship, just label it as whatever championship the winner chooses, because I feel like you kind of diminish it when you say it's for the TNT and not the World Championship. That's why I feel like if it is for the TNT, you should just say for any championship that the winner chooses. I think that's an easy way to fix that issue. I just think it's kind of underplayed as the TNT title, but I understand what they're doing. They're trying to make the TNT title on the same platform as the AEW title, trying to make both titles equally as relevant or equally as prestigious. I just don't like the fact that it's for the TNT title. I think a very easy fix to that is make it for the winner's choice. But we have Cody Rhodes versus Scorpio Sky versus Pentagon versus Lance Archer, Max Caster, and one that is to be determined. Now, I will go ahead and say this right off the bat. I do not think that RVD is the massive signing, but I do think RVD is the surprise entrant into the ladder match. I do think he's the one that is to be determined. I don't think he's the one, the massive get, and I don't think that they are one and the same because they said that the person who is signing the contract is going to sign it live on Revolution. I don't think they're going to have a segment where somebody signs a contract and joins the ladder match. So I think they're two completely different people. My pick for the mystery opponent is Rob Van Dam, and I got Pentagon going over in this one. They're kind of pushing Phoenix more towards the Pac relationship in the Death Triangle. I know they're all three in the team, but they're kind of having Pentagon do more single stuff, and they're really putting Phoenix and Pac together. I think it'd be amazing for Death Triangle to have the TNT title and the tag titles. So I do, like I said earlier, I have Rey Fenix and Pac going over in the Casino Battle Royal, and I have Pentagon Jr. winning the six-man ladder match, and Rob Van Dam is my pick for the surprise entrant. Shane?
I'm going with Scorpio Sky. You know, he's doing the whole face of the Revolution thing. I think it's going to be him. So that's who I'm going with. I think it's Scorpio.
I think Scorpio Sky is probably one of the most athletic talents that AEW has. The man's amazing. I really want to see Pentagon get a push. Zach, what you got?
All day. Penta all day.
Any thoughts on who the mystery entrant is?
I would lose my shit for three individuals. 1, Jay White. 2, Marty Scurll. 3, Will Ospreay. Mainly because it is a ladder. Can you imagine like what Will Ospreay would bring to the table in a ladder match on a higher platform?
I think he's too big of a get right
now. True. I mean,
I think he's unattainable at the moment.
He might be unattainable, but like if we're pulling for hopes and dreams here, all right, like let me have my hopes and dreams. Like it could be any one of those three individuals, I'd be okay with. I really would. But with them doing the like it could be Rob Van Dam. But if you look at anything from RVD in his last stint on Impact, yeah, dude, like he had Katie Forbes and like that was whatever about it, but like he wasn't moving the way that he used to.
And I think if AEW does bring him in, they need to really put their foot down firmly that Katie Forbes does not come with him. She almost caused Impact their Twitch stream. Like they almost got banned on Twitch because of Katie Forbes. They really need to put their foot down and be like, look, we ain't gonna allow her to come in here and do that dumb porn star shit. I was watching wrestling with my kids, and she made it very uncomfortable to watch.
See, and like that was my thing, and like I don't think RVD can't keep up with Cody. He can't keep up with Penta. Like he's great shape, very flexible, but you can tell like just those like little matches that he had on Impact, dude, he was sucking air so bad and he wasn't even moving fast.
He's almost starting to walk like Matt Hardy walks.
That's what I'm saying.
Willie, what you got for this ladder match?
If I could have my hopes and dreams of somebody that I would want to see in that ladder match, that I would be like, yeah, they gonna come here and tear something up, is Jeff Cobb. I would love to see him in it.
Okay.
But
Very nice.
I actually think Scorpio Sky is my pick. I think Shane said Scorpio Sky too. I think Shane, but I'm definitely that's my pick. That's who I was like. Yeah, I can see Scorpio because he needs to come back up a little bit. He's kind of been forgotten.
I think Scorpio's a fantastic pick, and I think he'd be a great TNT champion. I do believe that during the Jericho title run, Scorpio Sky gave Jericho his best match. If not him, it was clearly Jungle Boy. Those two did a much better job against Jericho than anyone else, in my opinion. Cody had a fantastic match. Adam Hangman Page had a fantastic match. I'm not taking anything from him, but Scorpio Sky and Jungle Boy brought out the best of a Jericho. And it kills me to say that, but Jericho's not the Jericho he once was. We can clearly tell he's losing his step. But those two really brought out a fantastic match with him. And that's not taking anything away from Jericho. Jericho has decent matches, but they put him back on that level that he was on, 5-10 years ago. That kind of Jericho, Jericho, the suit-wearing Jericho. It really made me go back to that kind of Jericho. So Scorpio Sky is a great pick. For me and my money, I'm ready to see Pentagon Jr. hold a title. So coming off of the ladder match, we have and this match kills me, the big money match. We have Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page. The loser gives up their quarterly earnings, a 1/4 earning, to the opponent, to the winner. This match is just fucking silly to me, guys. I think we can have. I love Matt Hardy. I love the idea. I love the Hardy Boys. I was such a Matt Hardy fan. I'm kind of not anymore. I like him more in the manager kind of role. But I just think there's somebody else. This is another match that I feel like is a wasted spot for me. I feel like there's somebody else on the roster who would give Hangman Page a better match. I feel like I don't feel like Matt can keep up with Hangman. And I feel like Hangman is going to have to lower himself to keep Matt in the match. I'm not excited about it. I think due to some outside interference, the Dark Order is going to get involved. You're going to have Matt Hardy's payroll get involved. But at the end of the day, when all the dust clears, I think Hangman's going to get the win. I just really wish they would have got somebody better because, like I said, I don't think Matt can hang with Hangman. And Hangman's going to have to lower what he can do to keep Matt in the match. Now, that does not excite me for one of their so I got Hangman going over. I just wish it was with somebody else. Zach?
Hangman. And I agree with the Matt thing. I love Broken Matt. Broken Matt is probably my favorite version of Hardy. And when he publicly went on record to state that Broken is a fan interactive character, you knew instantly like he was going to drop it until fans were allowed back into the arenas. Simple as that. I don't like big money Matt Hardy. It's not like, I mean, Matt's gone through like so many different transitions. I want to say this is probably my least favorite. It's the same thing when he did the big money gimmick in TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call it. I definitely have Hangman. What's up?
Even then was better than this.
Well, yeah, but like if you look at that, like he had so many different elements to work with. He took two kids that are, I mean, relatively like, yeah, they've been grinding their ass off, but they're still pretty new to like the big time water. You see what I'm saying there? So he took two kids and he's probably helping them, advancing them. in AEW's mind, it was, hey, let's put them with Hardy because it'll help their stock in the long run of things. And this will give Matt something to do until we can bring the broken gimmick back. You know, so I get that, but there's going to be a lot of interference in this. There is.
I think so too.
Because at any point, like, Hardy can work his pace. He can't work Hangman's.
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem. It's the same issue I had, a few years ago when we had Shane McMahon versus AJ at WrestleMania. Shane could not hang with AJ. I was not excited for that at all, and I know I'm comparing WWE and AEW, but we see it throughout history all the time. If you're going to, especially on one of your big fours, you should set your talent up to go exactly what they know they can do. And like I said, I think we're going to get a watered-down version of Hangman because Matt can't. And I hate to talk bad about Matt Hardy. I really do. But if I'm being honest and I'm being real with you guys, I just think we're going to get a watered-down version of Hangman because Matt can't hang. Willie, what do you got for this match?
I can see this is the night where Hangman finally joins the Dark Order, the big babyface celebrations, because they're going to help him get the money. I could see it. But the match itself. But I do hope that the two Dookie stains that I put down for the two matches, I hope they do change my mind.
And we have the Gorilla Position Talk Show coming in saying that, to me, this is a throwaway match. We had Stephen Hammer saying this is going to be his snack run match. So the only thing I have to say to that is, Stephen, I like Reese's Pieces and Snicker bars. Make sure you hook your brother up now. And what you got for this match?
I'm not excited about this match at all. Like you said, I think we're going to get a watered down Hangman. I think there's going to be all kinds of interference, but I see Hangman just winning this.
Double or Nothing is their biggest show. Double or Nothing is it Double or Nothing or All Out?
I want to say it was All Out. All Out was their very first show.
Yeah, All Out would make sense.
All Out was their very first show. Double or Nothing was their secondary show.
Okay. It's one or the other. They really haven't come out, and I'm pretty sure it is All Out. And Double or Nothing is like their SummerSlam, stuff like that. But so now let's talk about a match that's really splitting me down the middle. We have Sting and Darby in a street fight against Team Taz, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. When Sting came into AEW, I was excited because I thought they were going to have him, more in the background, more in the coaching position, mentoring Darby, helping him develop the character that it seems like, Sting really owned with the Crow character and trying to transfer that knowledge over to Darby and helping him get over even more than he already has. I do think that if they were going to put Sting into a match, it's got to be a street fight. It's got to be a no DQ. That way he can use the weapons. He can use the bat. He can rely on things that can help him in this match, help him get the advantage because, just like with the Matt statement, I don't think Sting can go with Brian Cage. And I think Ricky Starks is more talented than Brian Cage. I think Ricky Starks is a better wrestler, a better promo. All around, aside from size, he is better than Brian Cage in every aspect, in my opinion. But it does make sense that it's a street fight. I think they've done a really good job at building this match and kind of reinforcing why it needs to be a street fight. But I think the smartest decision was making it a street fight. Sting has other things he can go to if he starts to get winded, if he starts to, whatever the case may be. But I don't think they're going to have the TNT champion and Sting take a fall in this. Although it is a street fight, there are no rules. All members of Team Taz can get involved. That's what I'm really harping on because you can have the interference from Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs and Taz himself. I think they're going to have their work cut out for them, but I think they ultimately give the win to Darby and Sting. Shane, what do you got?
I think that I'm going with Sting and Darby. I think Sting either gets taken out at the beginning of the match or gets taken out backstage and then just comes out at the end and gets the pin for Sting and Darby.
Won't live up to the Stadium Stampede match. Best Friends versus Santana and Ortiz. That was – okay. You're saying one or the other. Yeah, I don't think it's going to live up to these matches that you've mentioned. But I just don't see them having Sting lose his debut or having and take a loss. Zach, what do you got for Sting and Darby versus Team Taz?
I think that Sting and Darby are going to come out the gate extremely hot, run roughshod. Something's going to happen, obviously. Probably most likely, Sting's going to end up taking that power bomb again. It's going to be the scariest thing that we watched the entire night because you're going to wonder whether or not he's dead. Other than that, Sting will get taken out with the power bomb. They're going to run a massive amount of heat on Darby. Sting's going to come back and make the save. Sting and Darby over tonight, man.
When I saw Sting take that power bomb from Brian Cage, I instantly went back to Karrion Kross and Vampiro.
Scariest thing you'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, they're not going to let Sting take it. Oh, they did. Okay.
Willie, what are your thoughts on the match?
Same thing, but I just think, in my opinion, I don't know. I just feel like this maybe should have happened to somebody else because I feel like Team Taz is going to look even. It's going to make them look even more weak when they lose this match tonight.
Same.
Like it's doing nothing for them.
No, it's not at all. I did like the not last week, but the week before when they showed the video package of Darby in the body bag, and then you see Sting come out with the body bag. You automatically assume it's going to be Darby in there, and it ends up being Taz's son. Darby comes in from the zip line. I thought that was great. I wish I was more excited about this match, but I'm not.
See, and like the one thing about AEW, and I have to give them credit, WWE is so predictable. It's the heel getting over on the face all the way up into going into the pay-per-view where they have the big heated match, and then the babyface will get over on live TV. AEW does a very solid 50-50 mix where, like, heels get over, baby gets over. Heels get over, babies get over. So, you don't really know which way it's going to go until you actually watch the match.
Yeah, and I agree with this comment. Sting is great, but needs to be safe instead of taking scary spots, in my opinion. I think you're absolutely right, James. There's no need for an old man to be taking a powerbomb from Brian Cage. He definitely needs to stay on the safer side of things. I hope that this isn't the start to like a full-time wrestling schedule for Sting, or even a 50% schedule. I mean, I can understand him popping up at the big 4 pay-per-views, but it doesn't need to be anything scary. I think he's more valuable as the coach and the mentor role. So this match I'm nervous for this one. I'm nervous for Sting in this match. The last real match we saw him in against Seth Rollins, he immediately. So I'm nervous. I really am. But I think Darby will do a good job at taking care of him. I think Ricky Starks is a safe enough worker. They're going to take care of him, but he needs to avoid those scarier spots. So let's go and get into the women's championship match. We have, and I can never pronounce her name right. We have Ryo Mizunami versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. Plain and simple, I think Hikaru Shida retains. I don't think they have built Ryo up enough to justify giving her the title. I don't think she's been in AEW long enough to justify giving her the title. I think they'll give each other a good match. I don't think it'll be anywhere near close match of the night, but I do think it'll be a solid women's match. Probably a more laid back match than what we're used to seeing with Hikaru Shida. We've seen her face Nyla Rose and Penelope Ford, and that brought out the more edgier side of her because it had to. But this match with Ryo seems back, almost kind of comedic style wrestling. I think we'll get a much more laid back version of Hikaru Shida. I think it'll be a solid match, but I got Hikaru Shida retaining because I just don't think they've built up Ryo enough to justify her coming in and taking the women's championship. Willie, what do you got?
I agree.
It seems like Willie's just not Willie today.
No, my phone's charging, but it's just I there's nothing that you can really say to that. I just truly agree. The other girl, I don't even know her name. I'm gonna keep it real with you. When you said her name, I said, okay, that's who she fighting.
Yeah, they started calling her, and I was the same way. They started calling her Ryo, and I was like, wait, that's not Ryo. Ryo is because they're both named Ryo. The first champion was Ryo, and this is Ryo Mizunami. And I completely got them confused. I'm like, they don't even know who it is. But I just don't think if they were going to put the title on her, I feel like they would have spent more time building her up.
I agree.
Yes.
Same thing. Champion's gonna retain, in my own personal opinion. Watching them go back and forth on Dynamite this last Wednesday, like, it kind of killed it for me, honestly. Like, those sloppy ass forearms really just didn't solidify anything for me. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that could be a really good match. And then they did that, and I was just like, any momentum that you guys had with me is gone. You know, so Champion's definitely going to retain. She's too new in the fishbowl without any like real hype behind her. Like, yeah, she won the tournament, but she's not going to take that. She's not going to take the title, man.
She's a great Japanese talent, and over in Japan and stuff like that. I just don't think she's established enough name over here in America to take the women's championship. Shane, what are your thoughts for this match? And then we'll get into the two matches that I think we're all looking forward to the most.
Well, I was actually hoping this would be Thunder Rosa. I was hoping it would be Thunder Rosa versus Shida, and Thunder Rosa would pick up the title here, but we're not going to get that.
Big money match.
Yeah. I'm going with Shida. I really don't care about Rio Mizuno, however we say her name. It is what it is. I'm just going with Shida.
I'm really pulling for Shida and Thunder Rosa. I'm really pulling for Thunder Rosa to be the one to take it from Shida. It's probably going to be at like a Double or Nothing or an All Out or something like that. But she needs to hold on to that title. And if she holds on to the title long enough to eventually face Thunder Rosa, that is going to be your big money match. 100%, hands down, that is where the money is. What's up, Zach?
So, like, I was just going to say this. The problem, remember how we were just like, oh, she's too new, like, Champion's going to retain, da-da-da-da. The problem with when they're bringing in, like, these Japanese talents is, like, yeah, they are huge stars over on the other side. They really are. They hold it down. They perfected their craft. And, like, you hear the difference in between pops and stuff when they walk out that curtain. When she walked out that curtain, it was silent, completely silent. And it's because they didn't do a good job building her up to make the fans excited, because you still have those fans that go, oh, I only watch AEW. I only watch WWE. I only pay attention to this. You see what I'm saying? So, like, when you bring in these talents from across the sea like that, they're great. They're fantastic. But it's the first time anybody's ever hearing about them. And that's
when you really need to hit it home with like you really need to hit it home with like your vignettes and your video packages and your coming soon videos and debuting soon and stuff like that. And they just didn't do that with her. And I know she's a phenomenal wrestler. I didn't know her before this tournament. I kind of looked her up on YouTube and watched some of her matches. Great stuff. I love the leg drop she does on the apron. I love that. It's one of those moves that it looks vicious, but it's actually really safe. I wish they would have built her up more, especially going into one of your big four pay-per-views. And I don't mean this disrespectfully. I mean this because, like you said, on this side of the world, we don't really know much about her. I don't think a spot on your big four pay-per-views, maybe like your Fyter Fest or Fight for the Fallen or something like that would be fine. But for your big four pay-per-views, in a title match, you need to have somebody who's a household name or close to a household name.
You have to, because if you don't, you're pretty much cutting their legs off before they even have the chance to run, man. And that sucks, because they are artists.
Imagine how many people are going to tune this match out just because they don't know who Rio is.
Or because yeah, exactly. I was just about to say the same thing. Like, they're just going to be like, never mind. And, like, I'm guilty of doing it too, dude. Like, when they first started doing, like, on All Out or Double or Nothing, when they started bringing in the Japanese talent, like, I tuned it out just because, like, I didn't know who they were. And then I started paying attention more. Like, so on the one hand, like, yeah, it's bringing in new wrestlers that you have no idea who they are. But on the same aspect, like, unless you're building them properly, you're only going to, you know what I mean? If you kill the excitement behind it, what do you really have? They have to work twice as hard to get you to believe in what they're doing.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any more we can say about this match than what we've already said. You know, like I said, they should have done better at building her up. People are going to tune it up because they don't know who she is, much like they do with Willie Finesse matches. They don't know who the hell he is. I'm joking. Willie's like this motherfucker. So, guys, the two matches that I am the most excited for, I have saved for last on purpose. We have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match between the Young Bucks versus Jericho and MJF. And then we have the world title match, which we're going to get into last. But let's go and talk about this tag team match because I have said this since day one. Ever since MJF joined the Inner Circle, I said one of two things is going to happen. This is going to lead to the destruction of the Inner Circle, or we're going to get a Cody versus Kenny style thing when they were fighting over control for the Bullet Club. I thought that's what MJF was going to come in and do. He was going to try to steal the Inner Circle from Jericho. And that's kind of what it looked like he was doing for a little bit, and he still might be. But I've completely bought into this match. Getting the Young Bucks' father involved, I thought was a genius idea. And I do think that these are maybe not necessarily the most over tag team or like the most over tag team with Jericho and MJF, but you definitely have two of the most over superstars teaming up. I think that MJF is going to do a good job of carrying this match because, like I said, we have seen Jericho slow down a lot. I stand by that. His lion salt is just atrocious now. His Walls of Jericho, or the Lion Tamer, where he used to be really high up, have the knee on the back. Now he's kind of just like sitting down, much like with Sting. We saw him fall over doing the Scorpion Death match. I think it's going to rely a lot on MJF to carry this match and take some of the bigger spots, and it's going to be hard for them to keep up with the Bucks kind of style of the high flying, the Meltzer drivers, the dives out of the ring, all that other good stuff. I do have the Young Bucks retaining. I think there's going to be some kind of interference with Sammy Guevara. He's been gone for a while. He's kind of, pissed with MJF. I think he's going to cost them the title match and eventually start feuding with MJF, putting the Bucks over in this match.
I agree. I think Sammy Guevara is going to be the reason why Jericho and MJF drop tonight. Like, not drop, but like lose.
Because there's only one or two ways it's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen either Sammy's going to cost Jericho and them, or Gallows and Anderson are going to cost the Young Bucks. One of those two are going to happen.
Gallows and Anderson cost the Young Bucks.
Go look at how they keep playing with them and keep messing with them. They're going to be involved in that regardless. Watch. Just watch.
Do you really
it's a very entertaining thought because in the beginning, the Good Brothers were very much against the Young Bucks. I go back to the match that Kenny was supposed to have teaming with the Young Bucks, and they switched it at last minute. The Good Brothers took over. There was a little bit of friction there. But ever since then, they've kind of been on their side. I could definitely see double cross, especially if Kenny and oh my God, I just spaced on his name. The vice president of Impact, Don Callis. If they continue this Don Callis and Kenny thing, I can definitely see that happening. But I think the Bucks will end up retaining. Zach, what you got?
Bucks. I got Bucks retaining. And even if you do the double crosses and all of that, like, you still – that's a good point, too. I was about to say, like, what if the whole thing was literally just an angle for them to take the titles? The whole Sammy MJF thing, like, all of that could just be one massive angle that everybody bought into because, like,
that would be fire. That would be dope, though.
Up until that point, I didn't even think about that. Up until he said that, I didn't even think about it. And I definitely agree that, like, MJF is going to end up taking all the other, like, the bigger spots and stuff because Jericho can't keep up with the Bucks, man. And, like, the Bucks work a certain style that if they half-step it in any way, shape, or form, you're going to know it's not a Bucks match.
Like, and if they take their foot off the gas in some of these moves they do, they're so used to doing these fast pace and they can do them safely. They alter that in any way. I mean, you're looking at broken necks, you're looking at botched moves, you're looking at missed finishes. They cannot slow down. And that's why I think all the pressure in this match is going to be on MJF.
I was about to say, like, the Bucks are a team that, can they call it in the ring? Absolutely. But is there a shit ton of calling in the back too for them to understand what exactly they need to do to put themselves in the position for the Bucks? 110%. You know what I mean? Jericho is one of those guys that he can just go out there and call it in the ring and not say two words to you in the back. He's that much of a professional.
He's a 30-year vet.
Yeah, dude. But like Bucks, on the other hand, like they could do the same thing. However, their tag team stuff is so intricate on double team this, double team that, put them there. You're gonna take this. You got to roll to take that. Like, they have to go over that stuff. Even if all you've ever done is watch Young Bucks stuff, you're still going to go over everything in the back because you're going to have questions. So I think honestly, like, it'll be a good showing. But I got Bucks going over.
Shane?
All right. Well, with this match, I'm gonna dream big. This is what I hope happens. I doubt it does. Guevara costs MJF and Jericho the titles, and then the Bucks celebrate, and then a God hits the ring and absolutely demolishes the Bucks.
Ooh,
I would love to see that happen.
You think God would pop up?
I think they could. And I would absolutely lose my mind if God shows up tonight.
They do have that working relationship. I would not put it past them, because I would much rather see a God feud with the Bucks than anything else. You know what I mean? I would rather see a God feud compared to a Good Brother feud.
Yeah, definitely.
And see, that's what makes these shows and predictions so hard to calculate, because with the working relationship between not only AEW New Japan but also Impact, also NWA, we could see the wild cards show up. We could see any NWA tag team, any Impact tag team, any New Japan tag team. I mean, we've already seen it come through time and time again. And that's what makes this so hard, but it makes the possibilities, and it makes being a wrestling fan so much fun right now, because you never know exactly what you're going to get. And if God showed up tonight, I would absolutely lose my mind.
Uh-huh. Which, speaking of like wild card stuff, like, and like, I can't believe I didn't think about it earlier, but like, just to like backtrack to that tag, not the tag match, but to the ladder match, like, you could see a Chris Sabin. You could see an Alex Shelley. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are definite possibilities that are there, because Shelley's not under contract under anywhere right now. He did his little stint in NXT with I'm
pretty sure Shelley is still with Impact. He's just injured.
You think so?
I know he's injured.
Oh.
That's why they plugged in James Storm with Chris Sabin. Shelley's injured.
Oh, that sucks. But like, I could see. Damn, I was really pulling for Shelley. I like him more than Sabin. But anyways, yeah, I was just saying, like, the possibilities are limitless. They really are. So no, I would pop if I saw a God come out tonight. You know.
Willie, anything you want to say on this before we get to the main event?
No, that was my predictions. I just think I think the Young Bucks are going to win, but I just feel like the Good Brothers and Sammy, like, there's going to be a bunch of different kind of chaos at the end.
So I'm telling you right now, this match completely sells the pay-per-view for me. What we've seen so far, and kind of what we've all been in agreement with, is that the matches that we have, you know, Matt Hardy, Hangman, Jericho and the Bucks, Suzuki or Shida and Rio, we have a lot of people who are going to have to slow down to make their opponent look good. I think this is one of the only this in the ladder match, because you can do a lot of stuff in the ladder match, especially with that many people. I think this is the most well-rounded singles match we have on the card right now. Oh, and I left out Sting. But I think this is the most well-rounded singles match. Both these guys can go. Neither one of these guys are afraid of taking barbed wire spots. Neither one of these guys are afraid of taking massive impact spots. They're young enough to do it. They're fast enough to do it. They're strong enough to do it. I hope Mox doesn't die, because I'm looking forward to go watching him at Bloodsport for WrestleMania week. But I think Omega's going to retain. AEW has done a really good job at making their title runs lengthy and meaningful. So I do think Omega will retain. But one thing that I'm really looking forward to with this, or one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing how it shifts the dynamic of this match, Kenny Omega released a statement on Twitter explaining the rules of the match. 3 sides of the ring, the ropes will be replaced with barbed wire. There will be explosives rigged to each set of barbed wire, and every time you make contact with it, it'll blow up. But the thing that I think a lot of people are overlooking is that the explosives are on a 30-minute timer. At the end of 30 minutes, every explosive that is tied to the ring will simultaneously go off. I'm looking forward to see how that changes this dynamic. I don't think they would put that rule in there if they weren't going to go longer than 30 minutes. And I'm looking forward to see what they do after that happens, where they take this match, where the fight goes. Does it go to the crowd? Does it go to the back? Does it go outside? Who knows? I think this match gives us a lot of possibilities. It's the first exploding barbed wire death match we've seen in 25 years. And I don't think they could have picked 2 better people to do this, aside from maybe swapping out Omega with Callahan. But I don't think that one's better than the other. I just think they do an equally good job, even though Callahan probably would take some more crazier spots and do some more crazier shit. But I'm really excited about this match. I got Omega going over, Omega retaining, but I'm really, really looking forward to this match. Willie?
Yeah, I think there's not one person that thinks Jon Moxley's going to win. Like, I don't think there's one person that believes he's going to win. I don't believe he's going to win. But I believe Kenny, of course, is going to retain. I just want to see the match. Like, if anything, right. I really just want to see like it's going to be like really my first actual time besides watching like a WWE match. And it wasn't so much a death match. It was just really, really brutal, hardcore type match. This is going to be like really my first time really watching a full like death match and what like really like knowing. Like I've never really watched death matches.
I like how this match kind of opens the doors for crazy possibilities to happen. You know, we've been really limited what we can get. Hardcore match, last man standing. This is kind of them putting their foot in the door to these crazier style matches, these matches that have somewhat been taboo over the last, 20 years, things that we've never seen before, things that we haven't seen in a long time. And I think it's intriguing to see that AEW is exploring those different avenues and basically saying nothing is off the table. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what fits. Let's see what works. And they're not really taking any stipulations of matches off the table. And there's possibilities to see some really crazy, cool, innovative matches that we either haven't seen before or haven't seen in a long time. I know Zach is really digging into this because he is that death match guy, that death match style wrestler. So let's save him for last because I have a feeling he's gonna want to talk. So let's go to Shane and then Zach. You'll have the floor uninterrupted to say whatever you want if I don't mute you.
Thank you.
I think Moxley retains. I think that we see a match that is absolutely insane, and I can't wait to watch this explosive barbed wire death match. We saw Kenny, a pop back to him on Dynamite where he's making what he calls the Moxley Killer. So I'm excited to see exactly what kind of explosion that's going to make. But I think in the end, Omega does retain.
I really like what AEW is doing, and me and Josh kind of had this. Not really a conversation, but back and forth on TikTok with how WWE, although I do like the fact that Bobby Lashley finally gets a title run, I hate the fact that they absolutely destroyed The Miz to do it, and he only had the title for, less than 2 weeks? But AEW hasn't done that. Almost 3 years into their history, and they've only had 3 champions. So I don't see them taking it off of them because they're really trying to build a lineage and something that means something to hold that title. As opposed to WWE, where they have so many titles, they change hands so frequently, they've almost turned their titles into participation awards at this point. So I agree with you that Kenny's going to go over, but I really want to see what Zach's got to say. So, Zach, the floor is yours, man. What all you got for this match? This is okay. Right here.
Kenny has to go over. That's the bottom line. Kenny has to go over because if he doesn't, everything with this Don Callis shit means nothing. That's the simple fact of the matter on that one. Kenny has to go over. Is Kenny going to do it to the point where he has to tell the story that he is the rightful champion because he's going to beat Jon Moxley at his own game? 110%. I think it's fantastic storytelling. That would be like somebody coming into Real Pro challenging me to a death match and then beating me in a death match. Why? Because that's my bread and butter. You know what I mean? With that being said, could it have been somebody different than Kenny to still have the good match? Absolutely. But if you're looking for storyline wise and the psychology aspect of just two individuals who work so damn well together, I wouldn't substitute Omega for anybody. And I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm mainly excited because of the fact that they are doing a death match stipulation on a pay-per-view. They've hyped it up on TV. And to see Kenny like stepping his foot in that door is really exciting because there's a lot of creativity that can come from that. You know what I mean? In the US alone, and it's the same thing in like Japan, like you see like the crazy deathmatch stipulations, but you don't get to see like any of the ones that they used to do. Like I've talked to you recently about a piranha, like doing a piranha deathmatch. And my problem with that is they're illegal to own in Florida. Like southern states, completely illegal to own. But I can buy them. I can buy 12 adult males for $100. Think about that. Like it just doesn't. So the concept of it is really cool, especially when you're on like that bigger playing field where you can see these guys go out there and just be so damn creative. Because my biggest issue with deathmatch wrestling is it's always the same thing. You go to a no-piece underground show down here, and like I love it. It's a no-ring death match, but the first match uses 30 light tubes. By the time that you reach the main event, every other match has used light tubes. Like it's just like okay, it obviously means nothing. You know what I mean? Like you see these dudes just taking tubes, but with that you have to like. With this deathmatch mentality, the idealism, the creativity behind it, you have to put yourself in a box with it. You have to. Because if you don't, like, exploding barbed wire deathmatch, very cool. Great concept. Absolutely love it. Exploding shit, barbed wire, blood, deathmatch. Yes, I am 110% sold. But if they continue on the path of doing different death matches, doing this, doing that, like, we've already seen, Joey Janela take the tax to the bare feet. You know what I mean? You saw Jimmy Havoc earlier in AEW doing dumb shit as well. Dude, like I just watched ICW where they took steak knives and stabbed each other in the back and drug that shit down their back. Like, and that's shit that I don't care for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care for that. The concept of this is absolutely fantastic. I think we're going to see a really cool side of Kenny and Mox that you haven't seen since, Mox was in CCW taking the sawzall to the head and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you get to see a really cool aspect of Mox that brought him to the table tonight. Yeah. And then you get to see a whole new side of Kenny Omega. I'm just really excited about this.
I will tell you this. AEW has made me eat my words. Because the very first Kenny and Mox match we had was an unsanctioned match. And I said live on this show, you don't start with that match because where do you go from there? You don't start with that lights out unsanctioned match because if you continue the feud, you can't do that and then go to a regular match. You can't do that and then go to a submission match or anything like that. So where do you go from there? And they made me eat my words. This is where you go.
No, this is exactly where you go. And if you remember the unsanctioned match and you remember all that, dude, it was so good. It was so good. Mm-hmm. And like the way that they told the story of Kenny eating the exposed wood and then coming back and then taking the Paragon shift, bro, like all of it was just such good storytelling. And then they dropped it. Like it went away. Like you didn't really see anything after that. Like You saw Kenny in the tag division. You saw Kenny doing his thing, and then like now they're like, okay, we've gone far enough. Let's bring it right back to where we were. That made all the eyes stare at us. Let's do Kenny versus Mox. Kenny's taking the title off of him. Where do we go from here? Barbed wire exploding deathmatch.
No, absolutely, and I completely agree. But guys, this has been our prediction show for AEW Revolution, which airs tonight. We have the exploding barbed wire death match. We have the tag team titles, the women's title. We have the ladder match, the casino battle, the tag team casino battle royal. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on tonight. I'm excited to see what happens. On a scale from 1 to 10, just from the outsider's perspective, I expect a 7 out of this pay-per-view. But there's a lot of room for me to be proven wrong. You know, if Sting steps up, if Matt Hardy's able to step up, if Jericho performs, I'm putting a lot of this show on the back of the barbed wire death match. The ladder match is another match that has the potential to be match of the night. So I'm excited to see where they go. I'm not going to say my expectations are super high, but it's definitely worth the watch. Definitely going to be watching it tonight. Probably going to be on here doing a recap show. If anybody wants to get on here, hang out, chat, talk about what happened, kind of break the show down. But guys, this has been our prediction show for AEW pay-per-view tonight. Just before you get off there, I want to show everybody one quick thing while you all are watching. This is what I absolutely need you guys to do. I need you to head over to YouTube and follow this channel. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys really quick. Should have already had this pulled up. I just didn't want it to mess with the stream. There we go. You guys are going to go to YouTube and follow Willie Finesse's YouTube channel. He's trying to break 1,000. We're going to get him next to Willie Finesse on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to get him to 1,000. Guys, it would mean the absolute world to me. It would mean the world to Willie. And hey, when you support our friends, it makes all of us happy. He produces some of the greatest Big Fed matches. He is the best stop motion guy in the game today. Super entertaining. You guys are not going to regret it. Go follow Willie Finesse's YouTube page. It's definitely worth the watch. But with that being, what's that, man?
So I appreciate that.
Hey, man, no problem. You support me every chance you get, and I like to return the favor whenever I can. And if you guys missed it, we did drop a major announcement that now Real Pro Wrestling, along with Wrestling Review Society, are now featured on Fight TV. Our first recording is WrestleMania weekend, April 9th in Tampa, Florida, when Real Pro Wrestling goes head-to-head with Pile Driver Pro Wrestling. If you guys are in the Tampa area and you want to check it out, this is where you can find it. Address is at the bottom of the flyer. Come hang out, say hi to us. Just come hang out and watch some great wrestling. Tickets are going to be, VIP tickets are going to be $20. That guarantees you a front row seat and a meet and greet with everybody there. General admission is $15, but I mean, hey, what else can you buy for $5?
Bro, you haven't even seen, like, so we wanted to do a complete Disney themed flyer. So, like, if you look, like, the castle's in the back, and then, like, as we're uploading, like, we just uploaded a match. We uploaded several of them, and if you look at the backgrounds, like, each one of them is, like, Disney relatable in some way, shape, or form. Like, and I have a ticket for anybody that can name all of them. One ticket, just one. If you can tell me when everything is uploaded. They are not all uploaded right now, so don't get crazy on me. But I have a ticket for anybody who can tell me all 7 backgrounds on the match graphics. Because, you know, if we're going to do it, we need to be ridiculous.
Well, there you guys go. One last announcement I want to make, guys. You do know that my company that I work for, we are making the Brody Lee tribute belts. There are only 10 of them. They were completely sold out. However, one person ordered 2 belts and he had to back out from his transaction. So we have 2 more belts available. If you want to get your hands on the Brody Lee tribute belt, this is what it is going to look like. There are only 2 available. That is it. Shane, you got 3 of 10. You got the 3rd belt coming out of the 10 belt series. We are only making 10 of them. If you guys want to get your hands on the Brody Lee tribute belt, make sure you message me on Facebook. Let me know. We can work it out. Everything's good. But we do have 2 more available, and those will be the absolute last 2. We're not doing a second run. We're not doing more than 10. We're not doing less than 10. There will be 10 made, and that is it. So if you want to get your hands on that, let me know. Make sure you guys tune into the War Room this Thursday coming up. I have another pro wrestling interview for you guys. Make sure you follow Willie on YouTube, Willie Finesse on YouTube. Make sure you follow Real Pro Wrestling, Wrestling Review Society, for all of your wrestling needs, your figure fed needs. And guys, we'll see you probably after the show tonight, because if it's a good one, we're gonna want to get on here and talk about it.
Shoot me the link.
But with that being said, absolutely, man, no problem. With that being said, I want to thank my guests for coming on here. Like I said, it is an all owners panel tonight, or this evening. We have the owner of the Fig Fed, we have the owner of Real Pro Wrestling, we have the owner of FPW, the promo group on Facebook, where you can win actual championships. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you later on tonight after AEW's Revolution.